Good morning, boys. Right. Today I'll be discussing one of the last concept of application of derivative, that is maxima or minima. This part of application of derivative is very important because generally one question of 6 marks is asked from this part, that is maxima or minima. That's why number of questions are there, word problems are there, and today I will be discussing the concept of maxima and minima for any given function f of x. First of all, if you see in a graph, one function, suppose we have the graph like this. There are many points in this graph where it seems, suppose this point is C1, this one is C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. If I talk about this, between this and this, it seems that C1 is the point where it attains the maximum value. In between this, C2 is the point where it attains the minimum value. Here C3 is the maximum value, C4 is the minimum value of this function, C5 maximum value, C6 minimum value. And first of all, we will make it sure that in a functions there can be more than one point where the maximum value, maxima, can be obtained. Right? That means in one functions we can have more than one maxima and more than one minima. When I talk about the maxima or minima, we will talk about the local maxima, local minima also. Simply we will talk about the maxima and minima, and we will talk about absolute maxima and absolute minima also. That's why many points are there and we will be discussing one by one. As far as the local maxima and maxima is concerned, local minima or minima is concerned, almost it is one, almost it is same. Right? Now I will be discussing how we will decide for any particular function where these functions will have maxima or minima, and if it is maxima, how we will find that maxima for a given function. Okay. Let us have a graph like this. Suppose the interval from A to interval B. This function has a graph like this. At this point, we see that, suppose this point is C, lying between A and B. We find that when this is C, it has maximum value for this given function. That's why now in this graph we can see that C, this is called the point of maxima. C is the point of maxima, and its value f of c will be the maximum value. Right? That means for a given function y is equal to f of x, if this function is defined in the interval a to b, then it will attain the value f of c at the point c, where f of c is maximum. That's why c is the point of maxima and fc is the maximum value. Right? If we have the graph like this, it's not downward, upward, right? Here the interval a, this interval b, at this point c, right, and this value is f of c. Now here we see that at this c is the point of minima, and fc is the minimum value, That means here for this graph c is the point of maxima and its maximum value attained at c, and that value is f of c. Here c is the point of minima and its minimum value is f of c, which attained at the point c. If I see the graph like this, y is equal to sin x, the graph, you know that. Here if you see that maximum value is here, at many places are there, right? Here minimum value. That means there are many places where we can have maximum value and many places where we can have minimum value. That's why again from this graph it can be illustrated that there are many points in a function where the given functions attain its maximum value and attain its minimum value. Now when we will talk about the particular interval, the local interval, now here c is the point of maxima or point of minima, or c can be the point. There are some function where it will not attain the maximum value or minimum value also. That I will come across after this. Here let us illustrate something here. F of c, when f of c is the maximum value, it means what? F of c is greater than f of x. For every x belongs to a comma b, f of c attains the maximum value. The function y is equal to f of function is given, and at c, f of c, it attains the maximum value for any x belongs to a and b. Then c is the point of maxima and its maximum value is f of c. For this I will write f of c is less than f of x for every x belongs to open interval a comma b. It means here c is the point of minima and fc is the minimum value, and therefore it is less than f of x if I take any value between a and b. Now I will discuss for the local maxima and local minima. Let us see now in the other way. This same thing I will discuss, but I will discuss in the other way. Here C is the point of maxima. Point of maxima. Okay. Now see, if I take any value just before C, let h tends to 0. H is very small, very small number, as small as you can think of. Just take a value just less than C, then that is this point will have, I can write C minus h. This point just after C, I can write C plus h. Right? That means f of C is greater than f of C minus h and f of C plus h. That's why we say that f of C has the maximum value. That means this can I write now, this C minus h and C plus h. Just I am talking about the maximum and minimum value of a given function in the small interval, in the local interval, isn't it? That is nearby area, in the locally I am talking about. Yes, when at the point C, if I find the f of C minus h for the given function y is equal to f of x, its value is less than f of C, and f of C is greater than the value f of C plus h. Then we say that C is the point of local maxima. C is the point of local maxima. That means C is the point of, same thing I write, C is the point of local maxima provided f of C is greater than f of x for every x belongs to where? C minus h to C plus h. F of x is greater than f of x for every x belongs to C minus h and C plus h. Then C is the point of local maxima and its maximum value is, maximum value is f of C. Right? C is the point of local maxima. If f of C is greater than f of x for every x belongs to C minus h and C plus h, nearby, locally I am talking about, just before C and just after C, where h is very small, then C is the point of local maxima and its maximum value is f of C. Now for this minima what I can say, here C is the point of local minima. Now I want to write, let us see whether you are able to get it or not. C is the point of local minima. If I take here one point, here you will have C minus h, here you will have C plus h. That's why FC is less than f of x. Alright, FC is less than f of x, or better as to write, that will be fine. C is the, for the second figure I am writing now. This is for the first figure. For the first, for the second now, C is the point of local minima. If f of C is less than f of x for every x belongs to C minus s to C plus h, locally I am talking about, and its minimum value its minimum value is f of c. And if you have any confusion between this c and c, I can write here c1 and c2 also, no problem, isn't it? If you have confusion that here is c and here is also c, no problem, I can write this one as c1, then I will have c1 minus h, c1 plus h. I can write this as c2, then here we will write c2 minus h, c2 plus h, same thing, right? That means this is the way to find out the maximum value and minimum value. Okay. Theoretically, I am talking about. Now, I will go with the example also. But before that, one more thing I would like to discuss. Let us see in terms of differentiation, because it is the application of derivative ultimately. Now, see here. At this point C, if I draw the tangent at this point, this f of c will be equal to 0, and the slope at any point before c will have a slope like this. Here what is this? Here the slope is positive. Here the slope is positive. Before c, listen carefully. At this point c, if I draw the tangent, that means if I find the value of f dash of x here, then here f of c will be equal to 0, isn't it? And if I draw the tangent before c on any point, then that line will go like this. After this point, the line will go like this. Okay. This is the slope of the tangent, this is the slope of the tangent. Now see what we can say here and what we can observe from here, that here the slope is positive, f dash of x. Here f dash of x is equal to what? Positive. Here the slope is positive, that means here f dash of x is greater than 0. Here f dash of x is equal to 0. Here f dash of x is equal to 0. At this point, f dash of x equal to 0, because that slope of this tangent is parallel to x-axis. Therefore, f dash of x is equal to 0. After c, if I take any point, here the slope becomes negative, isn't it? Here f dash of x is less than 0. That means now in the other way, in the other form, we can say that C is the point of local maxima if I take any value before C and if I differentiate and its slope is positive, and after C if I take any point and its slope becomes negative, then it is called that C is the point of local maxima. That means when the slope changes from positive to negative. When the slope changes from positive to negative, then we say that at this point C it attains the maximum value. Got our pointer now? And if you have got this point, then that second point is also will be very, very clear. When the slope of the given function, and slope is what? For a given function y is equal to f of x, we will have f dash of x. We will have f dash of x. Then we say that when the slope of any function given y is equal to f of x changes from positive to negative, then we say that it attains the maximum value at the point C, right? And here if I see, now here at the point C, f dash of x, if I draw the graph, draw the line, which line will be tangent, that tangent line will be parallel to x axis. Therefore its slope is 0. Therefore, here f dash of x is equal to 0. Now, before C, if I take any point, the graph will go like this, the line will go like this, and their slope is what? Negative. Their slope is negative. That is, here f dash of x is less than 0. If I draw here at this point after C, their slope will be positive. F dash of x is greater than 0. That means what? When slope changes from negative to positive, then that will give you the point of local minima. And when the slope changes from positive to negative, it gives you the point of local maxima. Actually, I am discussing that is called the first derivative test of how to check for a given function whether it will attain the maximum value or minimum value. There are two methods to find out. One is the first derivative test and the next one is the second derivative test. Okay. Now, whatever I have discussed till now, I will discuss with one example. In the meantime, if you need, you can stop the video and you can note it down what I have talked till now. Let us see now, I will go with one example. Okay, let us see now. Find all points of local maxima and local minima. Find all points of local maxima or local minima of the function given by f of x is equal to x cube minus 3x plus 3. X cube minus 3x plus 3. Right? Okay. Now see the solution part. Here it is given that f of x is equal to x cube minus 3x plus 3. First of all, we differentiate it. By differentiation, we get f dash of x is equal to 3x square minus 3, which I can write 3x square minus 1. Now, check out all the extreme points where this becomes 0. That means put f dash of x equal to 0 to find the critical points. To find critical points, we put f dash of x equal to 0. So now f dash of x equal to 0, it implies that 3x square minus 1 equal to 0. It implies that x is equal to plus 1 and minus 1. That means there are only 2 points where these functions have the point for attaining maxima or minima. Now, please plot this point on the number line. Allot this on the number line. Here it is suppose minus 1, it is 1. Now we have the interval minus 1 to minus infinity, minus 1 to 1 and 1 to infinity. 3 disjoint interval we have. Right? Now see, at this point what I have to check? कि whether it is changing from positive to negative, and at -1 I have to check whether it is changing from negative to positive. Let us see now. Here we have -1. If I take any number before -1, suppose I am taking -2, because I have to check the value of f dash of x, sign of f dash of x. F dash of x I have to change it now. Here, if I take any value before -1, suppose -2, then if I put here -2 in this function, f dash of x -2, so now 4 minus 1, 3 is 9, that means it becomes positive. If I take any value after -1, if I take 0, so now what? 0 if I take, here I get -3, f dash of x will have 0 minus 1, and that will give you -3, that's why it becomes negative. If I take any value after 1, if I take the value, that means what? If suppose if I take 2, so now 2 minus 1 becomes positive. That means here we observe that when I am standing at the point -1, before -1, it's the value of f dash of x is positive, and after just -1, that is after -1 plus h, which I have discussed, -1 minus h, -1 plus h, just after -1, its value becomes negative, and just 1 before 1 it is negative, and from 1 afterwards it becomes positive. That means here at -1 its value changes from positive to negative. And now if you remember, when the value changes from positive to negative, that we have discussed, that means when change in -1 from positive to negative, it means what? At -1 it has, at -1 is the point of local maxima, because at -1 its value becomes from positive to negative, changes from positive to negative, as at x is equal to -1 its value changes from positive to negative. Therefore, as at x is equal to -1, it attains the maximum value, and its maximum value will be what? F of -1. Therefore, f of -1, now you find the value of f of -1, not in f dash of x. When I put now f of -1, now f of -1 is equal to what? -1 whole cube minus 3 into -1 plus 3, it will give you -1 plus 6, it will give you 5, and therefore its maximum value is 5. That means -1 is the point of maxima. -1 is the point of maxima, and its maximum value is 5. Now here 1, at 1 we check that before 1 it is negative, and after 1 it is positive. That's why what we will say now, what we will write, that x as f dash of x changes from negative to positive, as f dash of x changes from negative to positive. That's why, therefore, 1 is the point of local minima, and its minimum value minimum value is f of 1. Now we'll find out f of 1. F of 1 will be equal to 3 into 1 whole square minus 3 into 1 plus 3 plus 3. That means now 3 minus 3 plus 3, 3x square minus 3 plus 3 will give you 3 only. This will give you 3 only, at 1, yes. Now its minimum value is 3, which is attaining at the point 1, and its maximum value is 5, which is attaining at the point minus 1. That's why we have got the maximum value and minimum value of this function where it attains the maxima and minima. That is now 2 points we got, minus 1 and 1. One thing, always the maxima and minima occurs at the extreme points. That's why we have given function y is equal to f of x, you differentiate it. Now I am talking all the points one by one. For the given function y is equal to f of x, differentiate and please find out the critical points. Okay, find out the critical points where it will attain the maxima or minima, and to find out the critical points put f dash of x equal to 0. After putting f dash of x equal to 0, we will find the critical points here. C1 and C2 we have got. Now this C1 and C2, please allocate it on the number line. After allocating on the number line, just take the value before that value. Suppose here I have taken minus 1 and here we have got 1. Before minus 1 and after minus 1, and check the value of f dash of x, whether it is changing from negative to positive or negative to positive. Sometimes it happens then that its value does not change from positive to negative or negative to positive. It remains positive to positive or negative to negative. That point is called point of inflection. That I will discuss in the next question. Suppose one question is that find all the points, of local maxima. The question is find all points of local maxima and local minima. Find all the points of local maxima and local minima of the function f given by f of x is equal to 2x cube minus 6x square, 2x cube minus 6x square plus 6x plus 5 plus 6x plus 5. Okay, now f of x is given 2x cube minus 6x square plus 6x plus 5. F dash of x will have 6x square minus 12x plus 6. This f dash of x can I write 6 common, x square minus 2x plus 1, that is equal to 6 x minus 1 whole square. Now for critical points, f dash of x is equal to 0. Therefore now 6 x minus 1 whole square 0. It implies that x is equal to 1. Right? Now allocate it on the number line 1. Now before 1 and after 1 you check. Before 1, if I take any value, here I will check the value of f dash of x, sine of f dash of x, right? Before 1, if I take value, suppose if I take 0 and I put the value of 0 over here, so now 6, 0 minus 1 whole square, it will remain 6 only, that means the value is positive. If I take after 1, if I take here 2, so now 2 minus 1 whole square, again positive. See now what happens here. The value, the sign of f dash of x remain unchanged, does not change at 1. It means here 1 is the point of inflection. This is called point of inflection. Point of inflection. Inflection. That means it doesn't attain the maximum value and minimum value. This function doesn't attain the maximum value and minimum value, and here this 1 is the point of right. So now I have discussed the for any given function y is equal to f of x, how to find out its maximum value and minimum value, or point of local maxima or point of local minima. And exceptional, here x is equal to 1 is the point of inflection. Here the v that from changes, it does not change from positive to negative or negative to positive, it remains as it is. That's why it is called point of inflection. Okay, now I will summarize the concept which I taught you, the first derivative test, right? The working rule for that. That is, for any given function, if you are asked to find out, yes, find the point of local maxima or local minima. Okay, then working steps for first derivative test. First derivative test. Working rule. In the first step, let for any function y is equal to f of x, find f dash of x. Let y for let it be like this only, better. First point, find f dash of x for given function y is equal to f of x, right? Second point, find critical points. Find critical points, and to find the critical points you have to put f dash of x equal to 0, and when f dash of x equal to 0, it gives you x is equal to, suppose c1 and c2 and c3. I have taken here this 2 point, and that point is suppose x1 and x equal to c1 and c2. In the previous question we have minus 1 and 1. Now third, allocate this point on number line like this, c1 and c2, right? Fourth, just before c1 put any value in f dash of x and check their value. If f dash of x is changes from positive to negative and from negative to positive, it is changing from positive to negative, Then if at C1 it changes from positive to negative, then C1 is the point of local maxima and its maximum value is f of C1. That means I have to put this value in given function y equal to f of x. Right? Now, fifth point, if actually this is the testing, how to test deciding factor at C1 changes from positive to negative. If at C2 it changes from negative to positive, then C2 is the point of local minima and its minimum value is f of C2. This value will keep in the function y is equal to f of x. This is the working rule for the first derivative test. And if we have another point C3 where its value does not change at all, it remains positive to positive or negative to negative, then C3 is called the point of inflection. This all we have discussed till now. Now, in the next lesson, I will discuss the second derivative test. Right? Or for any given function, we can find out whether we will have the point of local maxima or local minima. Okay, now suppose if I write one thing that now let us see one question. Suppose I have the function f of x is equal to x cube minus 3x, and you are asked to find out the local maxima and local minima. Right. So first of all, f dash of x is equal to 3x square minus 3. For critical points, we'll write 3x square minus 1 equal to 0. It implies that x is equal to 1 and minus 1. 1 and minus 1. That is, there are 2 points, critical points, where its maxima and minimum value will attain minus 1 and 1. Okay. Now before minus 1, if I take any value, suppose if I take minus 2, so now minus 2 whole square, isn't it? So now 4 minus 1, 3 and 3, 9. Before minus 1, if I take any value before minus 1, it becomes positive. After minus 1, if I take value, suppose if I take value 0, here 0 minus 1, minus 3, negative. After 1, if I take value, it becomes positive. That means what? Here minus 1 is the point of local maxima. It implies that at x is equal to minus, if I check the value before minus 1, the value sign of f dash of x, sign of f dash of x is positive. If I take any value just after minus 1, the sign of f dash of x is negative. If I take any value after 1, just after 1, its sign is, the value of is positive. That means here this minus 1 is the point of local maxima. Therefore, minus 1 is the point of local maxima, and its maximum value is f of minus 1, and f of minus 1 is equal to minus 1 whole cube minus 3 into minus 1, that minus 1 plus 3 will give you 2, and 1 is the point of local minima, and its minimum value is f of 1, and that f of 1 is equal to what? 1 whole cube minus 3 minus 2, and that is the answer. I hope you all have got it, and now you can do it. This was the introduction of the first derivative test. In my next lecture, I will discuss about the second derivative test, which one is easier than the first one. But sometimes the second derivative test fails. That's why it is compulsory and it is advised to you all to know about the first derivative test also. Right? Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Please take care of yourself and do well.